All right. Hello, everybody out there, and welcome to another episode of Talking 2D. We're back at it again with your host, Dews Diz Din, along with my handsome, beautiful, sexy co-host,
a man with the iron giblets.
And it's time to talk about some of that animation goodness, and we have a stacked roster for today. But as always, let's start with our eternal love, the sexiest thing alive. I'm talking about One Piece. Manga chapter first. Chapter 1027.
Let's talk about 1026 too, because goddamn, these two chapters in tandem, they fuck. He's fuck good. No, but all seriousness, last chapter showcased Momonosuke flying through Onigashima, causing all sorts of hilarious chaos, and just, quick check-in on what was going on with everybody, and then they got up to the roof, and it's just like, well, we got a dragon fight, the one we were looking for this whole fucking time. And Momo bit Kaido on the butt. And it was fucking great.
Like, right on the ass. Yeah, it was kind of like one of those, ow, the fuck are you doing, kid?
But I love how Luffy turned it into, like, a confidence-building moment. It's like, you just bit an Emperor of the Sea. What other shit seems scary compared to that now?
It's a good lesson, but at the same time, it's just like, look, man... just because I went up the tall building does not immediately mean I conquered my fear of heights, but it's a good pep talk nonetheless.
Well, it's funny, because that now transitions into 1027, where, oh shit, we now have a timestamp on when Onigashima is going to drop. 5 minutes!
Right? Wasn't it like last time we actually had heard how little bit of time we had? It was like at 15 minutes, so, man, This is really coming down to the wire at this point.
Yeah. Also, I kind of figured that, Yamato's exact explanation on how dragons fly, paired with the way it was portrayed in Punk Hazard.
Yeah.
I figured that was how dragons flew, so it's just like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Although, we don't always see him, like, gripping the clouds, so it is kind of dubious.
To me, it seemed like the clouds were just forming underneath his steps. Like, he just, subconsciously starts climbing and the clouds just form.
Yeah, I would assume that would be the case.
So now I guess he now has to figure out how to actively call upon it in order to keep the island from... I get the feeling he's going to just, at best... keep it from landing with enough impact to explode.
Yeah, I would pretty much assume that much as well. More or less, like, I would hope that since most people are in the Flower Capital itself, he might just be able to have it land in, like, Leftover Town or something like that, but, you're gonna be cutting it pretty close.
Yeah. Well, depending on where it lands... I guess where it lands doesn't totally matter anymore because they made it a point of just like, oh, well, if it hits the ground, it's basically rigged to blow, so just have a giant explosion. It's just like, well, that ain't good.
Well, I hope that's just, like, if it hits the ground with enough impact, because, man, it just hitting the ground in general, this was a really bad plan on Kaido's part, if that was the case.
Given that nothing fucking kills him, I imagine he just had, like, he was of the mindset of, I'll live, so it'll be fine. Also, I have to imagine he didn't expect anyone to actually make him work this hard.
Right. He's starting to work up a bit of a sweat at this point, but, like, considering at this point he's gone up against the Scabbards, the Supernovas, Yamato, and got bit by another dragon about the same size as him, I mean, old man's starting to feel it at this point.
Yeah. And that's actually, we're finally able to see that for once. Because the whole time, you're just like, holy shit, how much punishment can this motherfucker take? Well, now we're finally seeing how much punishment he could take.
Yeah, you just had to take down like 20 health bars. You're down to about 2 or 3. Good luck.
On the final 5.
Oh my god. Like, like Luffy, I'm glad you got that like little rest, got to the checkpoint, saved your game a little bit, came back nice and refreshed, because you're going to need it on this one.
I am honestly really looking forward to this fight, because he would not have sent them away if he didn't know he could do it, and that look on his face of you want him to yourself, it's like, yeah.
See, I would agree with that if not for like last time he sent people away, namely when he was just like, Zoro, Law, get out of here, I'll handle this by myself. Next thing you see him being thrown off of Onigashima, it's just like, oof. You sure you got it this time, buddy? You said that before, and I'm not trying to doubt you. It's just we've kind of been here.
It's like they say in Spider-Verse. There's nothing like intense, life-threatening pressure to bring out the best in you. And let's be real, Luffy thrives in that kind of pressure.
Hey, you throw him to the ground, he just bounce backs twice as hard.
Yeah.
But...
Boing, 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 boing.
Bound Man and all that good shit. But, Luffy...
I love the cover.
Luffy and Kaido's battle is underway. Yamato and Momonosuke trying to make sure all those partygoers don't get crushed. It's just like, oh no, they're listening to kick-ass festival music. They don't hear all the battles going on in the skies above them.
Oh wait, how about the upset of the fucking century with King? We're finally getting to see something about King, and apparently Zoro destroyed part of his mask, and that has made him big mad.
Yeah.
Big mad.
See, initially, I was like, at first I was just like, wait, what part of his mask was destroyed? Because initially I couldn't quite tell, but he cut off like one of the horns. Well, actually, like 3 of the horns on the side of his head initially. And, like, that got him fairly pissed, where he was just throwing out, like, air slashes all over the place, trying to get at Zoro.
He basically tried to knock Zoro out with his wings.
Yeah. And knocked Zoro all the way back into Frankie. Like, man, I wonder how much further he would have gone had Frankie not caught him.
Didn't Zoro almost get thrown off, but he counteracted it by firing one of his fucking sword cannons.
Yeah, it was basically like a smash recovery.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that was like the second time he went in after Frankie was just like, you need help, bro? And Zoro's just like, nah, I got it. And then in comes King like a bat out of hell, ramming right into Zoro. Zoro manages to, they have a brief clash, but then more of King's mask gets, kind of shaved off, which reveals, like, his hair and a bit of his head, and King gets, like, doubly pissed and then knocks Zoro right off of Onigashima, which was just like, oh, need to recover.
And he recovers by taking a play out of fucking All Might's book, I guess, just,
Maximum
air pressure,
effort.
save me! Maximum effort, air pressure, save me!
And I love it too, because Zoro was kind of pissed. It's just like, look, if I'm gonna die, it better be by a sword, not from friggin' falling out of bounds.
Yeah. Zoro's like, you better not fucking take me out like a bitch. I will fuck you up if you try that shit.
But, that's the thing, though. King really does play into one of Zoro's major weaknesses, and that usually tends to be distance.
Yeah, plus King has the advantage. He has the advantage of aerial combat.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, I recently just got through Skypiea again, and that's when, like, Zoro is no stranger to this kind of combat. It's just, he hasn't really done much in terms of fixing that. I mean, it's not like there's really much you can do, but Zoro has always needed a foothold to get somewhere high if he couldn't do it on his own.
Yeah, like when Orlumbus threw him at Pika.
Yeah? I mean, hell, Marco had to drag him up to the roof because he couldn't get there on his own.
Yeah, like, that's always been the funny thing. Like, Zoro has always been better at, like, more close quarters combat, and it's just like, if you want distance, you get Usopp. If you want close-up fighting, you get Zoro.
Yeah, makes sense. Close quarters is Zoro's bread and butter.
Mm-hmm. And hell, that's the essence of a sword fight, honestly. But that's about it for the chapter. Was there anything else you wanted to mention about this one?
Well, like I said before, the cover with Roger.
Roger being a little shit.
Yes. I mean, God, I fucking loved it. Apparently he wrote dog on the lion's arm.
Yeah, I saw that. It's just like, how dare you? I love that you see Shanks and Buggy just hiding up in a tree. Like, oh god.
Giggling their asses off. Like, I swear, one of them had the idea, and Roger was just, like, the first one to hop on it, like... It's like, hey, what if we drew on that lion's face? Roger already going over there with the marker.
He's already in the process of doing just that. It's like, you mean like the captain's doing right now?
Wait, what? And of course, Roger's not even fazed by the fact that this lion is chasing after him with intent to kill. He's just like, ha! I pissed off the kitty!
Like one of those assholes who intentionally tries to get the cat mad at him so he'll start scratching.
Oh, you talking about me?
Like,
I love to annoy cats. I don't take it too far, but I do like to annoy them because, well, they're tiny little morons.
I'm not about having a cat swipe at me. No, thank you.
Most cats I know that swipe at me are kind of just too lazy to go beyond swiping, so it's a game to me. I'm just like, come on, you can get it. You can get it. Sometimes they get me, but, you know, only sometimes.
It's a risk you gotta take.
Of course. You can't not annoy cats. They'll annoy you. They'll find ways.
Yeah, that's true. That's exactly why I do not like dealing with cats, period. No, thank you.